All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. The scene in South Philly a few moments ago. Boy, the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying fly, Eagles, fly as they get ready to match up with the Detroit Lions. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Here we go.
Now a two-time 1,000-yard rusher for the Bears. This is Jordan Howard. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
It's a first down on a gain of 10. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Sunday.
On the handoff, this is Howard. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
2nd and 5 now. Wentz. And that is incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time. But now it's 3rd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Throwing now is Wentz. And that will be incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
A look at Kerryon Johnson, second-year man out of Auburn. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Stafford. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience. It's early in this game, but you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset they didn't haul that one in, but at least they're there at the moment of truth to make a play on it.
By the way, where did the Grasshopper thing come from? I know it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, you know, I'll have to tell you that some other time.
All right, back to football. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Now a hit and a loose football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
I remember sitting in special teams meetings, and at some point during the meeting, the coach would always say, you better treat this one just like you're playing offense or defense. It's a big part of the game. And we just saw evidence of why right there with that fumble.
Yeah, fumble on the punt, and after it was turning up to be a pretty decent return.
Yeah, a really nice return. They were going to be set up okay, and the offense would feel good running onto the field. And now the defense has to try it out there and try and slow them down.
Now a carry by the third-year man. This is Austin Eckler. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Set. Blue 60. Big 20.
Throwing on third down. Stafford. Airing one deep for Curse. And that is incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing.
Let's go.
The Eagles take over first and 10 at their own 6-yard line.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Run.
Wentz going to throw. Trying to get it to Jackson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Austin Eckler, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead. Extra point good by Prater, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Eagles take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Wentz. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Well, the pressure gets to him again. The ex-Iowa Hawkeye Mike Daniels in for the sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if we're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Lions will take over. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 38. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, Eckler. Room here to run. He's got the lane, and there he goes. Touchdown, Detroit. Austin Eckler with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Lions strike quickly here for 6 points. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that. And he loses the football a second time. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So that will push him back.
And now we know why he had a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back. That penalty will move them back.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 34. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get 4 yards on the carry there, and we will get to the end of the first quarter of play. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. To throw is Stafford. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Fletcher Cox able to record his 5th sack of the season. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. From the gun, here's Stafford. Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
He goes, set! Go 20! 50 after Mike! Check Mike, check Mike! Watch the eye! 59!
On 1st and 10, Stafford. His pass caught at the 4. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Kelvin Benjamin. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. Prater for the extra point. And it's now 21-0. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. A reminder, coming up later tonight, a lot of buzz about this game. The Browns, they've been doing some travel. Back-to-back primetime games for them. Monday night they were in New York. Now the Browns head to Los Angeles to take on the NFC champs, Browns and Rams. An 8:20 kickoff Eastern time, 5:20 in California. The linebacker, Christian Jones, there to make the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
Here we go.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So the ball moves from their own 41 to the other 41 here for 1st and 10. Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
It's a nice completion and a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Great 15, great 15.
Again, it's Wentz. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Well, this is caught by Jackson. And they'll get this down to the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
You used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
A good run, 8 yards there, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
On 3rd and goal, Howard. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Jordan Howard, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles make some inroads here on that deficit. Elliott good with a PAT. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
1st down.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10.
21. Hey, Charlie.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Eagle pressure. Too much this time. Down he goes. A sack by Brandon Graham. He's been doing that since he entered the league in 2010.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. The left side completion to Jones. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Waiting. Check, 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 check.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. A throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play callers.
It's a foot race. He's at the 50, the 30, past the 20. A big play there just before halftime. 93 yards.
First and goal at the 6-yard line.
This is first and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. A final shot before half for Wentz. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Deshaun Jackson in the final seconds of the first half. And the Eagles have cut it back within a score. Elliott good on the extra point. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
The Lions take over.
Here we go. Here we go.
At their
Here we go.
own 25-yard line.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. The final shot before the break, Stafford. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Stafford and the Lions now have it first and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And they start the second half with Johnson. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On second and 7, Stafford out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. Out of the gun, Stafford. A throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
The Lions take over.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
Ready. Blue 60. 58. Come on. Come on, dude.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Second and 5. At the
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a second and 5.
Watch the slap. 32.
They go to Johnson again. Accelerating, and off he goes. A big run there by Johnson. 46 yards on the ground. Well, this game's ripe for the taking, and that run, I think it means he wants to take it.
Not only does he want to take it, he doesn't care what they're going to do on the defensive side of the ball. You can be prepared for him. He's coming at you anyway.
Running on first down, Eckler. And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
From the 22, Stafford, that is caught at the 7. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Leads to 2nd and goal at the 4-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down.
And he has his receiver. That's Jones. Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions have taken the lead. Extra point good by Prater. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10.
Check 15, check 15.
They go with Howard to begin the drive. And now Jordan Howard slow to get to his feet, so they will stop play here. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
It's going to be a long...
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 12 yards there and a first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
They go play action here on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the... Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And into the end zone. A scoop and score on the fumble return for the Detroit touchdown. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave them a comfortable lead.
Prater for the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Play fake to Sanders. Now here's Wentz. And complete to Zach Ertz. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On 2nd down and 4, Wentz. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Wentz. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground.
Let's go. Let's do it.
At their own 8-yard line.
Attack. 280. Let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Throwing on 2nd down. Stafford, screen play, Johnson. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one covers 29 yards, 1st down.
And that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space, the big guys leading the way.
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. Now on 2nd and 13, Stafford. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
And darn right, they did something to disrupt that timing.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Hey, fly low. Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. Hey, let go.
Operating from the gun, Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
Check, check, check. 6-6, pull it high.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Gilchrist. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now, as you noted.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Lions use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point good by Prater. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Rashaan Melvin. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a 4th quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Prater for the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That's fielded in the end zone. Gets past one man. And he'll be stopped just shy of the 25 with a penalty marker down. Here's the call. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. To throw is Wentz. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And got his man complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Lefty, lefty. Bang, 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 bang.
Here's Wentz to throw. High throw, but he makes the catch. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and short.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Ertz over the middle. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Zach Ertz, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Eagles get a score closer. Elliott good with a PAT. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Lions are able to cover this one up. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And some room to roam now. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A game there of 30 big ones.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today. Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Go. 180! Safety's creeping.
Throwing on first is Wentz. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Wentz. Now a desperation throw deep down. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. An explosive 38-yard pickup. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now Wentz. He fights him off. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
This complete left side to Aguilar. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Wentz to throw for it on 4th. And this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Lions will take over. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
It's a loss of a yard.
Lady! Let's go.
And the Lions